You're listening to the No Tekkers podcast.
No Tekkers podcast.
No Tekkers.
What? Man said Bon Gerard. Is he
The No Tekkers podcast.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Right. Episode 36. The No Tekkers podcast. I'm your host, Braz. My co-host, Courts.
What's happening?
And Piercy, a.k.a. Mr. Bond the Stats. And we got a special guest in the building.
Chase.
Man like, I don't know, what is it, Wonder Kid?
Yo.
The original one.
The original Wonder Kid.
Yeah, me.
You know what's funny? They ain't even this. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we're trying to humble it.
Nah, fam, claim that.
We got Febian Brandy in the building.
Yeah. What for them? What's happening?
Yeah,
How you doing, man? You alright?
I'm good, brother, man. Yourself?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. How's everyone else?
I was about to say, we're
No,
alright too.
Courts.
I
Man
was
City top on?
good till I
What
saw
you
what
mean?
what's Court's wearing today. That kind of upset me a little bit. But apart from that, I'm good.
Stay upset, fam.
You didn't even watch the game. You watched the highlights.
I watched the whole thing, fam.
Man didn't even have a season long low. Man had a 1 month and it's extended it. What's this?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. My team's in Champions League final. Where's your team, fam?
You ain't got no team.
Europa League, bro.
You ain't got no
We
team.
Europa League.
You
With
think you'll win it?
Yeah.
Don't say no. It's not.
You know what it is?
he's
Yeah?
on low.
No, listen, Iraq's a bad man. Relax, innit?
Everybody is a bad man. I stand by that
You
statement.
get that?
I think they've broken the mental hurdle, innit? I think they'll go all the way, to be fair.
Yeah.
Actually, nothing in it.
I think it'll be all English final.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think Real Madrid.
I think that to be fair.
I prefer it to be an all English final, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. You never know with Madrid. They might the Champions League experts.
I just don't want City to win it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Anyone
Why?
but City. What
Why?
do you mean? Why?
What's your question?
I'm a
Why?
United fan. A real United fan. It can't be getting trebles.
You sound like you're hinting at something there, man.
We'll get into that later.
Nothing.
Right, before we go into Fabian's story, let's just bring up, since we're on the Champions League or English finals, I predict. We was having a conversation about the dominance of English football and why that is. So, for the past couple of years, you've had all English teams like Liverpool, Tottenham in the Champions League, and then Chelsea, Arsenal. Someone was saying, why don't we see Barca, Madrid, or Juventus, Inter in these European finals? And I was just like, well, if you look at English teams, they're full of foreign man, innit? Ain't
I mean,
really
That's what I'm saying. 'cause
English
the
Donnies.
real question is, why isn't the national team doing good?
There you go.
Sticky one.
So-
Still.
Obviously, remember back in the day, it used to be like your Barcelonas and your Madrids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, in the semis, like season after season.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously, a couple of them, man, obviously have come over here, developed English football a bit. So
Yeah.
you see the evolution in obviously English football by players obviously coming over from abroad, and even the coaches. You know what I mean? You're getting a lot of foreign coaches coming over.
Yeah.
Putting their mentality on the English game. So obviously that probably can.
So it's foreign mentality with an English shell.
Basically.
Basically, can't.
Basically, once English coaches start coaching the English players, England got good.
Basically, it's a Ford on the outside, but it's a BMW engine.
Fair enough, to be fair.
So yeah, is that something that these other nations should take on board, though? Like, obviously in Spain, most teams are filled with Spanish players. In Germany, the same. Italy, the same.
But for me, that's how it should be. You shouldn't really have no
Source
English
of foreign
players
man.
playing in England. That don't make no sense.
So what, you think there should be a majority of English players in English teams?
Of course. If you want your, if
Like
you want
Man
your national
City.
team to do
Well, one for Man City. How many English dons they got there?
Huh? Pep?
I think with that it comes down to grassroots. Then you know what I mean. It comes from like the development from the
exactly.
young players coming through.
Do you think that with the foreign man? Bear in mind, I'm full foreign man in it car. Watching bare English players will be dead. The quality will be there.
I'm saying.
Do you think that
'cause
kills
I don't think you
grassroots?
need to put restrictions on it once you get to first. I think there needs to be restrictions before, like on the 18s and whatever. Because I remember when we used to play Arsenal back in the day.
Bare French man.
None of them spoke English.
Bare French man.
It's true. true.
And,
Enough for them, yeah.
But remember, it's the clubs. I had a chat with I won't mention his name, but a head of academy before, and he was saying it's the FA's job to make sure there's English players coming up in English teams, but it's not the club's job because they're a business.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
we're gonna get the best talent in the world.
So that's why you need to put the rules in place from then. So they can't
But,
just go and.
but is it fair for those talented players to not get that, not be afforded that opportunity based on the fact they're not English? Because I don't.
And they can still get an opportunity, but I'm saying they're not going to go into the first team at 15, 14, them ages. So why do you need to sign now? Why not develop and
But then
work
again,
on
as
your
well,
craft?
it might come down to obviously the player as well. Obviously, you see, man, like obviously Jadon Sancho, like he's at City, he's talented. You know what I mean? And he's probably thinking to himself, he can play first team level and things like that. And his opportunity was to kind of, go abroad at a young age. Maybe, Man City wanted to keep him. But obviously, again, he wanted to play first team football or get the opportunity to play first team football.
again though we're talking about first team football now. So that's a different.
So your
different
gripe
aspect
is
of-
it needs to be.
That's what I mean. I'm saying if the player
U23 is lower,
first team ready, no problem.
Yeah.
Let him go wherever he needs, because at that point you looked at as a
And that's
man.
it, yeah,
You're
okay.
a big man. You can make your own decisions. You're making a life choice, a career choice. At 13, 14, you're not making career choices.
I know
Your
what you're
parents
saying,
are making them choices for you.
but I just feel my only thing with that is then if a player is good enough, why should he or would he be denied the opportunity to go into better facilities to master his craft, even though he's younger? But why should he be denied that opportunity just because he's not English? If that makes sense.
So give me an example.
Like a young like with the Arsenal players. If the Arsenal players,
Exactly. So you're telling me there's not a French club that could develop that player that he was already at? He couldn't.
I'm not
for a
saying that.
couple more
I'm
years,
not saying that
stay
isn't.
at
But
that
I'm
club.
saying if there's a better opportunity for him to become better,
But
then
who knows whether it's a better opportunity?
that's the argument, isn't it? But that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
So
Like I
what I'm
don't
saying
feel like he
from-
should be restricted just on that basis.
I'm not saying it's restricted. I just think it's restricting the players that you already got and the pool of players that you've already got.
But then does that not encourage them to do better?
Not really.
Does iron not sharpen iron?
I think, but like I
necessarily.
said, back to what I just said, I think it also comes down to how the player's feeling as well. Because obviously, if someone's 15, 16 and they're like talented and they think they can play first team level, but they're not getting kind of that opportunity. If another club abroad says, you know what, we're gonna put you training with the first team every day, you're gonna be involved with the first team, obviously,
Getting your minutes in on the
you're gonna
pitch.
Get your minutes. That
Yeah.
that player's gonna say, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go elsewhere. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think again it comes down to each player's.
It's a case by case, isn't it?
Yeah, individual.
I
That's
don't
what I'm
think
saying.
you can
No,
just
but
put
again,
like a
that's
blanket.
touching on the first team aspect of it. If you're not anywhere near the first team, I don't think you should be moving to go the Man Cities and the Arsenals and whatever club, because
So like
they're
say
not looking at
Morgan
you
Rogers
as-
now.
They're looking at you as you might become a player.
Yeah.
I'll take a chance. They're not looking at you as in 6 months you're gonna be playing first team football.
Yeah. So like say Morgan Rogers now, he's left Albion last season to Man City to go into the 23s, but he's left 23s to go into 23s.
Yeah, but
And now he's on loan.
That's a different situation because he's not leaving the country and traveling and changing his whole
okay,
lifestyle.
okay.
I'll give you an example. When I was 15, 14 or 15, Barcelona come in for me. Like, to say,
Tell him again.
so Barcelona come in for me.
Must be nice.
So like, I could have, thought, kind of what Jaden's done again. Said, you know what, I'm gonna go Barcelona. I'm getting told, I'm gonna, train with the first team. I'm gonna do this and that. And to be fair, that probably would have suited my football. But because I was from Manchester and I, as an English lad, I got told, when I'm gonna be like 19, 20, I'm gonna be like a first team regular more or less. Obviously, 19, 20 come, and that didn't happen. So then it's like that gap of me kind of taking a risk to stay at a club in England or whatever, and think, what, my chance is gonna come.
Yeah.
Maybe if I would have went elsewhere,
Who knows?
Who
Yeah.
knows, innit? So like I say, I think it comes down to case by case.
So if you had the chance to go back, would you have gone Barca?
Ronaldinho and that.
Ronaldinho and that little Bojan and that.
Jeez.
I don't know about Bojan.
Jeez.
Bojan was a mazza.
Man was cold.
His day. It's hard to say. I probably would have liked to see how it would have panned out.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean I would have.
Okay, let me rephrase the question.
Rephrase the question.
if you was you now, speak as a representative.
Speaking to your younger self.
Would you advise yourself to stay or go?
I would advise myself to go, if I'm being honest, because the type of player that I was, like, you know, one touch passing, pace and things like that, you know, and you get in the league, you get a lot of time on the ball and things like that, and you see, you know, it's very rare you get like a fast defender or, you know, things like that. So I think I would have, you know, benefited playing in La Liga rather than, you know, developing in the Premier League, because I'm not saying I'll get knocked off the ball and that, because you know man's hench. But like, what I'm saying
Sorry,
is,
man, I know about the short man syndrome.
but like, it's just saying, like, over there, you know, there's a lot of time in the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's more technical
And less physical.
Yeah, less physical and things like that. So you know what I mean? You like I say, it's
Yeah.
and buts kind of thing. So.
Right. So let's take it back to the start of your career. You was at Man United.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Was you in like grassroots around the area and you got scouted? How did that come about?
You know what? It's mad, you know, because I actually went to Man City for about 2 weeks, you know.
I didn't even know that.
You know what I'm saying? Dropping his dimes. But like, so obviously I was in I went to a school called Holy Name, and like obviously, you know, just like primary school and things like that. And our like the janitor, the cleaner guy, he kind of had links with United. He used to do like little part-time scouting and that. So then at the time I was playing at my local team. It's very strange. I was playing at West End Boys, my local team, so flipping between primary school and West End Boys. So then he kind of told Man United about me, so it's kind of like on their radar. But then Man City approached my mum and dad, kind of just said, you know, I think it was at Platt Lane at the time. They were like, oh, you know, we've seen him play for West End Boys, things like that. So then I went to Man City for about a week or two.
Where were they at the time? Like what? Like were they in Championship then, or was it they?
I don't know. I think it's like Division 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it used to be Division 1, yeah.
Or whatever it was, yeah. So I went there, but obviously I was still a young kid in it, and I didn't really take football seriously. I just wanted to kick around with my friends and that. So then I went for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was, and then I just said to my mum and dad, like, you know, I don't want to go back, kind of thing. And they were like, all right, cool. So then I carried on playing with my Sunday league team and like my primary school team. And then Man United come in, they come to a few games from a local Sunday league team, and they just said, we want to. This was about after a month or two after obviously I left City, and then they just said, literally, come in. I went to the Cliff and then just didn't turn back.
Did bits.
Did bits.
So how come you didn't enjoy it at City when you were there then?
Liquor Man Club.
You know what? It wasn't
You're
a
gonna
fact.
no money then.
It wasn't the fact that I didn't enjoy it. It was just like I was a young boy playing like with my friends kind of thing, and I didn't really take the professional side of things like too serious. I just wanted to kick around like on the streets and do things like that. So obviously, like I said, it went, and you don't get, it was nice and everything. You know, good facilities and all that. But I don't know. I just wanted to, you know, play football with them, and obviously went back to my Sunday league team, and then obviously United come in, and my mum and dad just said, "Oh, you kind of not, you know, letting this chance go." So then I just went there.
So were your parents United fans?
I don't even know, you know, so weird.
They were, man.
Your
son
on the low.
I don't even know.
I need them free tickets.
Serious. But yeah, that's how it come around.
So when you got in, obviously that was a different environment to what you're normally used to. Talk us through like what did you like? How was your experience being brought into that environment?
So obviously, I think I would have been 7, 8. I got scouted by United, and I think at that age you go to a place called the Cliff, just like where it all kind of starts. The Cliff, train on Monday and then train on Thursday, and then it was Littleton Road on the Sunday. Or the Saturday, whichever one it was. But like the Cliff experience, that's like where all the legends, you know, like you Ryan Giggses and your Andy Coles and things like that, that's where they kind of, you know, used to come and train and just do things like that. So the Cliff's got a lot of history. So to be at the Cliff, you know, everyone was like, you know, kind of a bit gaslight kind of thing. And so yeah, it was that experience was decent.
Okay. So you stayed at United from all the way from like 7th, 8?
Yeah, to about 21, 22.
22. In your time there, Obviously that was like around Fergie era as well. Did you even get to meet him? Like, how was that?
This is the
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
Yo, tell them about the Fergie
Trying to
combos.
give context to the viewers.
No. Let the people
For
know.
people that don't know, I'm just trying to, you get me?
Trying to educate them.
Let them know Wagwan with the Wagwan.
Wagwan then.
I think my first encounter with Fergie was he come to the cliff. I vaguely remember he come to the cliff to kind of just see, you know, what all the talent, and that was there.
You wanted to see what the fuss was about.
wanted to see what
He heard the
the fuss
name.
was
Wanted to,
about,
So he came to see you specifically. I don't know why he said all the He was saying all the talent, like big man. And then coming to see 50 youths run around, he came to see you.
So like he come there and like he used to just, you know, chat like this little, oh, you alright, slap me on my head, whatever, you alright, good training session. Then he will go, and about a month later he'll come again. Then he'll go. They used to be back and forth. But obviously when he used to come, it used to be like, you know, like a massive presence, and everyone used to kind of.
You used to just feel it before you even
just
see him.
feel it, like, you know what I mean. It's mad. It's a mad feeling. But like for him to be praising you and things like that at such, you know, a young age, it was kind of a bit surreal, if that makes sense. Because obviously you're getting a boss of United, you know, coming down to like, you know, the cliff and looking at your progression and, you know, things like that, and giving you little pieces of advice at the age of like 8, 9, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
So how old are you when you leave the cliff?
I was trying to think about this the other week. I think it's around 12. I think it's 12 or 13, and then you go to Carrington.
Yeah.
And you go to Carrington, and that's when it hits you.
Yeah.
When you go to Carrington, it's like,
What was that like?
Oh, it's nuts. So being at the cliff, obviously developed. I remember the first time we went to Carrington, I think there was only a bunch of us. And like the facilities, it was mad. Like I think they spent like 5 million or 6 million or whatever it was on just the youth youth area, and obviously the first team pitch was mad. But then it was just like when we used to go there and we used to see like first teamers walking around, or because we're like young and we just come from watching them on TV, come from the cliff and like seeing them in person. It was just, we were all like in proper awe kind of thing.
Really?
But then we had to learn quick to kind of not let like seeing these players like
when idols become rivals.
That's what I mean.
Exactly that.
I mean, you get there and then the work starts like straight away in it. So it was.
Was there a massive change when you were from the cliff to Carrington in terms of like expectation, training standard?
Yeah and no, because obviously it's United, so the levels are going to be high, whatever the age.
Okay.
It's just obviously at a different age group, if that makes sense. So when we transferred from the cliff to Carrington, like 12 or 13, whatever it was, the levels were still high. So it wasn't like, you know, the levels were, you know, mediocre at the cliff and then you went to Carrington. I think the only thing that changed for me was the environment.
Okay.
You know, I think that was the only change. The training levels were still high, the tempos were still there, and, you know, the potential to see where you could actually get to, you know, obviously that was still there.
So how old was you when you got the talk about the first professional contract? So yeah, you're a pro now.
Right,
Fergie sat you down and said,
sat
yo.
me down.
Was he training with the first team before the contract? Or
Yeah, so I started training with the first team like in and out, probably like age 14, 15.
Oh, wow.
So there was like a few of us.
I told you. Y'all didn't know.
So there was a few of us who used to go from like the youth team, train with the first team, whether that's the ones that have not travelled or whether that's, you know, the first teamers who have had a game before and they're like having a cool down with the ones that have not played, you know, that kind of thing. So then we would train, I'd say probably once a week or once every kind of 2 weeks, kind of just, you know, drip feeding.
Yeah.
But like I said, that was.
Would it be the same few that train with the first team every now, or would it rotate?
It was kind of the same few, but then it would be like an original few, and then maybe
Some add-ons.
Yeah, some add-ons like
Some
with-
some
I'm gonna taste.
one of
numbers.
yeah. And it was, like I said, it was just, well, like I said, it was proper, it was surreal, and it's mad experience.
that first training session, like how was that experience? Like when you seen obviously the idols,
You were shook in it.
who was in there doing the mad thing?
You were shook though.
Nah, Scholes was doing the mad thing.
Scholes, yeah. Huh? What was that? Scholes.
Looking at me like I'm
Scholes.
Paul Scholes, innit? Nah, he was mad. Like he was doing a madness every session.
Tell him again. I don't think they heard you.
The funny thing is, yeah, like he always used to have like not the strongest team, but his team would always win.
Yeah.
Like he's the type of player he will have like
Wes Brown and them, man.
Yo, put some respect on West Brown, fam.
Hey, you know, you see where
Wes was lifting man in training.
Yeah.
It was proper lifting.
No.
But like,
he had all the backup dancers.
but like Scholes, he would be like on a team where it's not the strongest, but his team would always win, like kind of thing. So he's the type of player in training. Let's just say if I've got like 3, 4, 5 man on me or whatever, like trying to tackle me, but he's got 7 man on him, like without thinking, just give him the ball, but he'll always get out of a situation and make something happen. Like, yeah, the guy was a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk these contract, man. Let's talk this contract.
Contract.
What age?
I want to
Did
know
they
when
put it on the
that-
table?
I've heard the rumors about the Fergie conversation. Did he come to the house? Was it? Come to the. This is what I heard anyway. He come to the house, said
In the limo.
Where did it?
sat you down with you and your mum and said, "Yo,
No, we're in the house. Can't remember exactly where it was. But we had a conversation. It was quite. I think the conversation was 15. So I kind of had an inkling that I was getting a pro. Like when certain players, you've done all right. Like in the development, like you always going on tours, like to.
The right ones
you're ahead of the rest of the group."
Yeah,
basically.
kind of thing. Because like when we were going to let's just play a tournament at the age of 13, 14 or 15 or whatever it was, I was not all the time, but I was going there and I was getting like top goal scorer. I was getting player with the tournament and things like that. So I kind of thought I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? To be going over there playing against your Ajaxes, your Anderlechts and things like that, and coming back, with like a trophy, like an individual trophy. So I kind of knew I was doing something right. So the first discussion was I was around 15. Can't remember it like word for word, but it was kind of just on the lines of, you're doing well, and we want to kind of give you a pro. So then I think it was when I was like 15 and a half when this conversation happened. But then you get your first scholar when you is it 16?
Yeah,
You leave school, yeah.
16, yeah. So you get your first scholar when you're 16, but I got a 1-year scholar and a 2-year pro. When some people just get 2-year scholars, you know what I mean, and then they get the pro after that. So I got like a 1-year scholar and then a 2-year pro, which was take me to was about 18 or whatever.
Okay.
Man, so when did you get the England call up?
Which one?
Energy.
Lillashaw, I think 14.
14, yeah.
I was in the system from like 14, Lillashaw, all the way to like under 20s. So yeah, through the England system.
Now, the step from obviously Man United is top of the top, like in terms of quality of players.
Yeah.
When you went to England, was there much difference, or because that's now you with the best in the whole country?
You know what, the quality it was still high. You know what I mean? Like regardless of where were you at the time?
Birmingham.
Yeah. So obviously, like on a bigger level, United and Birmingham. Obviously, United. A bit more.
You can say it, man. Birmingham was a little man club.
Man's trying to. I don't say it.
You don't want to say it.
I want to say it.
It's all right, man.
But I'm like, man, trying to live
Close to get there, man. Close to get there.
What's the Birmingham a bigger club?
I tell us wait up.
Man, try to do a little graphic. I was mixing,
But like, regardless of like where Birmingham were and where United were at the time,
You had to be at a certain level to be.
Yeah, you had to be at a certain level. So, for example, some centre backs that were at United, Chief was better than some of them centre backs because obviously even though he was at Birmingham, he would have been better than them. So then
all of them.
So then that's where like that I learned that regardless of even me being at United, someone might have been out of Fulham who might have been better than me. If that makes sense. But obviously they just brought the best, the best players in the UK or
Yeah.
whatever it was to obviously get in the England team.
Now, rumours have it that you and D Studge were like York and Cole.
To be fair, we didn't move mad like.
You know what? Yeah, quick. I have to ask everyone that talks about Studge in it because I've never witnessed it for myself. Is it as mad as everyone's?
Nah, Studge was stupid, man.
I think I just like hearing it now. I like people's reaction when they talk about it.
It was mad. One game that sticks out. United played City, and I think Studge City come to Carrington to play like United's Carrington, and I think he bagged that hat trick, but he was just moving mad, like from start to finish, just twisting up man, and it was just like, I think this would have been around about 14, but this was like the first time like a proper like saw Studge in action in it, and I just thought, yeah, this guy's nuts, man.
Is it one of them where you see just like raw, fair play?
Yeah,
You have to admire it.
Yeah, it's mad, like left foot, right foot. He's got this little chop on him,
Yeah.
like he's gonna shoot it, there's chop inside. His right foot, whatever it is. Our managers always used to say like, don't let him turn, get tired of him.
Couldn't stop it.
Keep him on his right foot, but then he's got this stupid outside of the left thing in it. So if you keep him on his right, he's still gonna either clie it with his right or he's gonna do it with his left foot in it. So that's Studge, man.
Who would you say is the best player you've played with?
Best player I've played with.
Well, let's do who you've played with and who you've played against.
Who I've played with and who I've played against.
Like you thought, yeah, this geezer's a joke.
You know what, Giuseppe Rossi,
Yeah.
Well,
he's mad. Mad. To be fair, when he left United, I was actually in shock. Me personally, I think he's obviously had a few injuries and things like that, but just his ability, like he's hands down the best finisher I've seen.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, head. He wasn't even the tallest. And,
Yeah.
Just got ahead, isn't that like his technique was like ridiculous.
Yeah, he was tipped to be a Mazza still.
like to be fair, I thought he was good, but to say he's the best player you ever, that's a big statement.
I'd say like his finishing. I'd say best finisher actually, but like overall he actually is
A good player.
a very, very good player. Like, I would say best player that I've played with, to be honest. I'd say out of him and Studge, to be fair.
Yeah. What about played against?
Played against. So fun.
So someone that's like surprised you as well, like raw.
You know what? Thiago Alcantara. So
The thumbs up, Mr. Thumbs Up.
Mr. Thumbs Up.
The one at Liverpool.
The one at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Mr.
But that's what I was saying. So we went away to a tournament in Malaysia. It was like a youth Champions League. We ended up winning it, to be fair. I bagged in the final.
Don't let you
But we played Barcelona in the semi-finals. And to be fair, I think we won 1-0, scraped to win. If we would have seen a percentage, that easily would have been 90-10.
Really?
Like, we literally didn't. I think we just caught him with one counter attack. I crossed the ball in for like Sam Houston, and he just headed it in the back post. But like, he literally just controlled the game. And another one, Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Juan Dos Santos, he was mad as well. You know what? There's so many like.
The streets will never forget the Santos though. He was a baller.
He was mad. Like, yeah, he was mad.
And then his career kind of faded in the Premier, and then he went MLS and done a Mex Mazza.
Yeah, come to the Prem, it didn't really. I think he even went to the Championship as well.
Yeah.
But Ipswich or something, and I don't think he did too good there. But easy. You know what? There's so many, like, because with United, you travel around the world quite a lot in it. So I'm seeing different types of players and that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to pick.
So how many games did you actually play for United?
2 benches. Didn't come on, but like 2 benches. I think one was in the Prem against Blackburn, and one was in the Champions League against Roma. When we drew 1-1, I think, and I think PK scored. PK scored a header.
Yeah, I remember that.
I thought that was my moment, come on. Because I think Rooney went down injured. So on the bench, it was like me, Sam Houston, Richard Eckersley, and then there's like Dong, Eagles. Because I think we already qualified, didn't we, to get through to the next round, so obviously. Fergie's brought like a weakest, strongest team in it. So then Rooney's gone down injured, and then Fergie's looked at the bench in it. Obviously, me and Dong are the next like strikers there in it. Dong fans, I don't know if you heard of him, but like,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, Chinese
Did
guy.
that fun.
Yeah. So Fergie's looked and he's gone Brandy, go and warm up. So obviously I'm
Sprinted
like,
out the tunnel.
sprinted out, bib got dashed on, running up and down, thinking, bang, this is my moment. Warming up, getting abused by like the Italian fans. So they're moving mad, throwing bottles and all that. Obviously I'm 18, 19 at the time, innit?
Yeah.
And then I've looked down like you know when like you try to make eye contact with a gaffer to see.
Yeah, gaffer.
I'm
Already a gaffer.
innit?
It's me giving the head nod.
Doing mad warm ups, innit? And then I've looked down and I've seen Dong taking off his top going on, innit? So then he ended up going on instead of me. And I was
man.
innit? I was
Man didn't even warm up, just straight put on the top.
Straight on, bro.
Probably so. Alright, can I ask then? Cool. So throughout this whole time, then what went wrong? Because obviously something had to, if you know what I mean. You're not because you made 2 benches, but you're tipped to be.
Me being personal, like personally, I would say, if I'm being honest, I could have done way more at United. Like when I say way more, I'm on about training, probably harder, going into the gym. You know what I mean? Probably things out of football and things like that. I could have done a lot. I could have done a lot more.
Okay.
And looking back now, you know, obviously you're not at United for 14 years for like no reason.
100%.
Or 13 years or whatever it was, for no reason. So I probably think when I got to about age 18, they probably wanted to see me kind of develop more mentally, like you know, like just little things like diet and little things like that. Because I always relied on like my ability. You know what I mean? Like I might not, you know, have a healthy dinner or a healthy pre-match or whatever it is.
Yeah, jerk chicken and that.
Yeah.
Masala fish wraps.
Whole time was all the fish now.
Dumplings and that. But then I'd go out on a Saturday or whenever we play, and I'd score and I'd play well. So in my mind, I thought
You're doing all right.
He's doing all right, yeah.
But obviously, to be at United, you gotta be on
Excel,
point, you gotta
yeah.
excel. And I think, and you know, I did have did you play in that USA game where I broke my ankle?
Nah.
You might not played in that. So that kind of slowed me down a little bit. We played for England. We played USA. It might have been a friendly. And I was running through, and then last man, literally the guys just wiped me out. Broke my metatarsal, broke my fibia or tibia, whichever one it was. But like I just thought it was a proper kick. So then the physio's obviously come on, and like I'm like trying to jog, and he's like, yeah, Fabs, jog. Obviously my foot's broken in it, but obviously I didn't know. I just thought it was a proper whack. And then gone back on the pitch, and someone's like pinged me a ball, gone to control it with my left foot, just gone bang. It's just like proper like broken. And then I had to go off, and that was like my first major injury. And then that was about 18, I think it was 18, 19. And then after that, I just kept getting like little niggles. And so injury did play a part. It was kind of a mix between injury and probably, how can I put it now? Probably not, you know, doing
What you're supposed to.
more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? More
Applying
you know what I mean?
yourself.
Yeah, applying myself. Yeah.
Working on your craft.
So what was the biggest lesson then from the journey?
Just don't take it for granted, to be honest. Because I probably did take, you know what I mean, some things for granted when I was there.
You think that was because you were there from so young? So if you came in the building at like 12, 13, do you think it would have made you appreciate it more?
I think possibly, because obviously, like I say, I was there from such a young age, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have got comfortable. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
to be fair, it's rare that players, I think maybe one in, maybe two in the whole academy that makes it in from 7, 8 to 18 till they get like a pro.
Yeah.
It's like, if you look at the clubs, I think the past 10 years, it's probably like 1 or 2 players.
Yeah.
Players more so start to come in at like 14, 15, 16 ages. So that does make sense. Like that whole 10-year journey is a madness, you know. Like,
Trust me, I know.
yeah, well, there you go. So, I don't think people understand. Like, even when like I was doing my coaching tour, like you'll find a player that's like good and stuff, and then the parents be like, "Yeah, do you think you can become pro?" And I'm like, "Yo, your kid's 8 years old. Like, you ain't even found gal yet." You get what I'm saying? Like, last week, gal in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, them things there are big. Like, that environment is, you know what I mean? So, what I did want to ask though, I did see that you did go to Greece
Mad.
for a bit. Like, how did that move transpire?
Bro, I was asking him. I don't even know. Like, one of my boys, do you know Jaban Vidal?
No.
He was at City. I think he might have been there with Sturgeon, that man there. So anyway, he's out there. He's in Greece, and it playing for, I think it's a team Panathinaikos, I think. In the Greek Super League, in it, like carving it, like whatever. So then obviously he's like, yeah, Fabs, they're looking for a striker or number 10 to come out here. Like, do you fancy it? And to be fair, it was at a time where I left United. So when I left United, I broke my metatarsal in the last reserve game in the last minute against Wigan. I think I had a contract lined up to go to Sheffield United, but obviously it would have failed the medical. So I did my rehab at United for like about another year, I think it was, because it just wasn't healing right. So I went to Notts County under. Yeah, Notts County.
Yeah, I was there.
With me in it.
Yeah. No, you was with me.
He was the little man in that situation, man. Like, you were with me in it. No, like, you came to my club.
Yeah, the guy came to me and said, "Yo, what's he saying?" Yeah, bring him in.
So I went there, but I wasn't fit, nothing, like, you know what I mean. I've been out for a year and a half, and I think, to be fair, I think Fergie kind of just said to Paul Lynch, you know what I mean, like,
give him a go.
Just give him a go, you know what I mean. He's been injured, whatever. And I think I only played about 9 games there, so I weren't fit. You know, didn't really perform. I wasn't me in it. So then obviously didn't get a contract there. So then I was like twiddling my fingers for a bit in it. So then I think that's when I spoke to my boy in Greece, and he was like, "Yeah, do you fancy coming?" And I said, "You know what? Why not?" Literally, they said they were going to give me a contract. So, all right, contract, cool. Apartment, cool. Car, cool. Got there. None of that. None of that. No,
Man got picked up.
That's what I'm saying. No contract.
Donkey at the airport.
That's what I'm saying. It was mad. So then I've got there, and it was just like, right, what now? So then I was in they didn't even give me an apartment, so I stayed in Jab's apartment, like a pull-out mattress or something like that. Obviously, it's like I'm like going training next day, saying, you know, you're gonna, you know, help me out.
Patting me, yeah.
Patting me with something, and it was just like, yeah, next game. So I thought, this was when they had about a 2 or 3 week.
Did you have an agent at the time?
So I had an agent in the UK, but then this Greek agent, I'm gonna name his name because. It got a bit techie. He's not even gonna lie. It got techie in Greece. So anyway, he was like, "Come over there." So I went over there. Nothing got promised, whatever. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we want you to play in this game." I think it was against Xanta Skodi in the Europa League, like qualifiers or whatever it was. And I thought to myself, "All right, might give it a go." So then I said, like, you know, can I at least have a car or a contract or something? Because they weren't paying wages or nothing. And it was just one thing after another.
I'd have to pull up your boy still. I ain't gonna lie. Big man, what's this? What you got me over here doing?
In a foreign country?
I did, innit? Because I got there. I think he was there for about a month. And when I got there, he was kind of in the same situation that I was in. So he was there for like a month with what was going on. And then obviously I've got there, and then I'm in the same predicament now. So I've gone something, like, right, why go on for that? Like, you know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh no, it's cool. I was like, "Oh, it's mad. Well, it better be cool, innit?" So then, it just didn't happen. And then I was like, right, you know what? They say it's not gonna wait for me. It's not gonna wait for you. Let's just terminate the contract. So then they were like, all right, cool. Give me the contract in Greek, innit? So obviously I've looked at the contract and I'm like, I don't know nothing what's going on there. So obviously I knew someone back in England who she was like half Greek, whatever. So I said, "Oh, translate what's going on in that." So she basically said to me what it was saying, but how they were a bit clever. They put like a release clause saying if I sign with any club, that club owes them like, I think it was like 150 grand or whatever it was. But it was written in words. So it wasn't like there were numbers there where you could see like.
Man said they wrote
When you write that check,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you got to word the check out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So obviously I ended up getting that taken out and then just terminated the deal and went back to the UK and then. But they wouldn't even give me my international clearance for about 5-6 months or whatever it was. Yeah. So I had to try and speak to the FA over here to try and get something patterned, and then I think I ended up signing for Warsaw after that.
Okay.
Talk to us about the Warsaw days.
Just revived myself a little bit. Went to Warsaw, a team that people obviously kind of knew, but they kind of put a team together, and we did well. We'll go into like Coventry, MK Dons, places like that, and beating them. And I think we missed out on the playoffs by about 4 points or something like that. But we even went through a patch where we didn't win a game for 13 games. So even if we would have just won 3 of those games, it would have been. But yeah, did well at Warsaw. They wanted to keep me, but Sheffield were banging on the door. And then I went to Sheffield under David Way. He made me his first signing. Did well under him, but we weren't getting like the results. So I think the first game was against Notts County on Sky. I got man of the match, so I thought doing well on an individual basis. But like I said, we weren't getting the results. So then he got sacked, and then they brought in Nigel Clough in it.
Alex like an off-air conversation.
That's all I'm saying.
I just said,
Let's move on.
moving on swiftly. We ain't trying to get nobody in trouble tonight.
What I did want to ask you was at Swansea
Yeah.
for a bit.
So-
Then they won the league, didn't they?
Yeah, so that was a loan spell when I was at United. I think I went to Swansea when I was 19, I think it was. That was like my first taste of like men's senior football. So obviously Roberto Martinez obviously spoke to Fergie and said, what's happening with Fabian? Because I think, to be fair, we had a few teams to go. I can't know who they are, but I had a few teams to go out on loans. But Fergie and Roberto obviously spoke, and they kind of just said, Swansea is it's the best. The best. Yeah. They played like possession football and things like that. So then I went there, got promoted to the Championship, and then they made a bid for me in the following season, but United turned it down. Stayed with them for, I think it was about 4 or 5 months in the Champ, and then Fergie called me back.
Do you know how much the bid was?
That off-air. Is that off-air combo?
Off-air combo.
You can't let the people know.
7 figures. Nah, that's what I think the figure was. I think it was like just under $1 million or just over, give or take, whatever it was. But obviously, United just said no, just call me back.
We've had this youth for 10 years.
You better add a 0.
All right. Well, it's that time of the show. Do you wanna?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Because it's the quiz, and I need to get it all.
The quiz.
So
Don't worry, it's a short quiz. Don't worry.
See what I've got here.
So we like to quiz our guests to see their knowledge of the game. Half of the questions are based on the team that you support, United,
Yeah.
Huh?
United.
Yep.
and the other half are based around general football and knowledge.
Yeah.
You get 3 minutes to answer 10 questions. You can pass a question if you like. Come back to it later. What else?
Your first answer
Your final answer. And I think that's about it.
Alright, come.
Courts will be keeping the time, so
Do you want a time check every minute, 30 seconds?
Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna dive in.
Just, it's
gonna
done, innit?
I think it's not too bad. think it's not.
We'll soon
too
find
bad.
out.
Yeah, that's if you hot yet.
Armpits are wet.
Great as well. I'm actually like this person.
PSC, you're gonna keep
got the
tally
count, I got
of your
the
points. 6 is the magical number at the
You
minute.
got that?
You got
A Liverpool
Tots.
fan and Toppy.
Yeah, Toppe, you got that, and then another.
I think got that.
Yeah? I don't even know. You don't even know?
Man. I know you don't know.
Should I ask about things he done before that?
Are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right. Question 1. Name me the 6 players from the class of 92 that made it to United's first team.
Giggsy.
Yep.
Nicky Butt.
Yep.
Gary Neville.
Yep.
Joe Neville.
Yep.
Paul Scholes.
Yep.
David Beckham.
Correct. Question 2. Which 2 players were suspended for Manchester United's 99 Champions League final?
Roy Keane.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say Yapstone.
Incorrect. It was Scholes.
Oh, what was it?
Question 3. Name me 5 players that LVG signed for United.
That's Bengali for you, Sean.
Daily Blin.
Yep.
Memphis Depay.
Yep.
I get clues or anything.
Nah.
That's a clues. Is it blues around here somewhere?
Nah,
You can pass it if you want. Come back.
Yeah, pass that one.
Okay, cool. Question 4. What was the name of Man U before it was Man U? What was the name of the club before it was Manchester United?
Don't know, you know.
Just say pass. Just say
That is
pass.
mad. It was Newton Heath.
Newton Eve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question 5. What season did United sign De Gea? So I'm looking for the season.
Season. So
So it would either be
Yeah.
01, 02 or 02,
yeah.
03.
So
So what season?
You've been there for a minute. What we in now? 2000. So this is 2021 season. This one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 0102.
Been there that long, man. That's 27 years.
0102.
What years?
Brother.
Oh right. Nah, it's all about. It's not
That's incorrect.
so
That's
what's nine-
incorrect.
0102.
Nah, what's 9 years ago? 9 years ago, innit?
21.
21. You stupid. What is it?
It was 11, 12.
Yeah, so 9 years ago, innit?
You said 0102.
You said 01 or
brother.
102.
Nah,
So
but
I'll
I said,
take your first
but
answer.
I meant 9 years ago, innit? Nah, you gotta give me that. I said it,
brother.
Question
Nah,
6.
he's mad. He's mad.
Name me 5 players that are now retired and have only played for one club.
Pass.
But like,
That's
So
easy.
players that have played for one club that are now retired.
so Ryan Giggs,
Yep.
Stephen Gerrard.
Yep.
No. You play for Galaxy?
He said, yeah, though.
Oh yeah, true.
Nah,
That's
nah,
true.
you gotta give it that though. He's
No.
not-
You can carry on. You can carry on.
Carry on.
Jamie Carragher.
That was. Yeah.
Paul Scholes.
Yep. That's 3.
That's three.
I'm going to do 5.
5, you know. That's mad, that. Plays that I play.
So you had.
You
You
can
can finish the question.
It's mad though, because I don't know the answer. Play for one. Nah, it's Maldini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more.
One more.
You play for the club you on the bench when you're playing against them.
I thought there was no clues, man. What's this?
That's family new something, fam.
Play for the club.
Remember, Rooney got injured, man.
I'm just trying to think. No, Toy.
Yeah.
Toy.
So I'll give you that. Fair play. Right. You also had Tony Adams, Ledley King, Puyol. Did you say Gary Neville?
Nah.
I think that was it. But yeah, Gerrard was my bet still. I was looking at the internet, and you know the internet's always wrong.
Last week when Zach tried to say
Right.
What did I get then?
What did you get?
a grand total of 2.
2, man.
So same as Studge.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
No.
We can go through the questions. So, That was question 6, innit? So question 7, who were the last 4 English players to score Champions League hat-tricks?
Boy.
That one's tough still, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yo.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Rooney,
say,
you're on this
I want to say Rooney.
Yeah, I was thinking he got to be on there.
Nah.
No.
People have scored after him.
After him. English players.
So you got Sterling in 2019, Harry Kane in
I was just
17.
thinking, Kane, did he?
Yeah,
when,
That was against that Fryfish team in the group stage.
Oh, that don't count.
It does.
Welbeck in 2014.
Jeez!
And Michael Owen in 2008. Question 8 was name me 5 players that have played for 7 or more different clubs.
I could be anyone. That.
Big man,
You
were you
want my
angry when you wrote this quiz? These questions are hard.
But the first couple were easy though. I don't know how you got
That's
the
what
second
I'm
one
saying.
wrong.
Mad.
So you got Bellamy, Wayne Routledge, Andy Cole, Peter Crouch, Marcus Bent, and Tal Ben Haim. Remember that, Donny?
I know, but nobody would remember him in that situation.
Man,
I mean, that he was the 6th, isn't it? Question 9 was who was the manager of Brazil when they won the World Cup in 2002?
2002.
Scolari, innit?
Yep, Scolari.
I was gonna say.
And then the last question, question 10. I sounded unsure. In the 98 World Cup, England brought 4 strikers to the tournament. Can you name them?
In the 90 what?
8.
98.
Yeah.
98. 98 is what? I was 22 years ago. Shearer?
Yeah, Shearer was one.
You're great with how long ago it was. You just don't remember what years ago.
Shearer.
Yeah.
Lineker.
Nope. That was the year before. Or
fair
the
enough.
World Cup before.
You know.
Yeah, Michael Owen, remember?
Oh, you.
Yeah. Les Ferdinand,
Yeah, I don't. I was gonna say
Sheringham.
Sheringham.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Testing the waters, isn't it? testing
So,
your knowledge, isn't it? Testing your knowledge.
Make the host answer.
Yeah, so you got a grand total of 2, so
Take that.
that's pretty much relegation.
I'll tell you that though.
Nah,
Nah, it's a relegation thing right here.
nah, there's so you got one?
Luke Vernon and
Someone else on it?
Your boy.
Davo got one.
Davo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was I got upgraded to 2 because technically,
You stayed up on it. You're Burnley.
Right, I'm a bit early.
You're Burnley.
Yeah, a couple of signings, you put me in the top half.
Nah. Let's start there.
Couple of signings, put me in the top half.
Decided.
right. So it's that time of the show. Fraud Watch.
All them a fraud, all them a fraud.
Welcome to Fraud Watch, where players, managers, or anyone involved in football have bamboozled the world into thinking that they are better than they actually are. Fraud Watch.
So, Fabs, Fraud Watch. You probably don't know what that means, but I'll explain it to you. So, it's players, managers, or anybody involved in football that has bamboozled the world into thinking that they are better than they actually are. So, at the minute, Loftus-Cheek is on there. Tammy Abraham.
Dan James.
So, someone who's the public might feel is...
Basically, who's robbing a living?
Yeah, basically. Arteta.
Yep.
I don't want to go first, but I don't have one this week. But somebody messaged me and told me that this player needs to go on.
A man said.
I personally don't agree, but with a voice for the people in it. So they said that Raheem Sterling.
What?
I don't agree.
Did they justify that?
Just obviously based on the season that he's having now, in it.
Yeah, but that's. I don't think
Who was
it's
the
football
person?
related. If I'm honest.
Who was this person?
I'll tell you later. I don't want to put. I don't. I want to keep their credibility.
Whoever that person is, they're going on fraud watch.
I'm trying to keep their credibility in it, but they were basing off this season in comparison to
He hasn't played though.
Nah,
He hasn't played as much.
Bro, he said it because of the New Balance deal, innit?
No.
I'm just a messenger, innit?
I don't know about that.
I'll let them know.
That's how much that one.
Yeah, I'm not having that.
Can't let that one slide.
So yeah, can you think of anyone? There's a lot of men on this list at the minute for this season, Willian included.
Season.
Martial,
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Dean Henderson,
We put him on.
the whole of Wolves.
Yeah, man, the whole of Wolves, the whole of Barcelona too.
Yeah. Why you think on it, Chief? You got anyone?
Can't really think,
You know what?
You know what the man have to have himself on, yeah? Because he's like, yo,
You know
don't
what?
know how this one's gonna go.
This one's gonna be a poll, I know it, but I'm gonna go with it anyway.
Go on.
Di Maria,
Okay. Why is Di Maria on fraud watch?
I don't agree with that.
because people like this guy here will rate him as like one of the top midfielders in the world. And
said
for
that,
me,
though? You said that.
I never said that. I said people like him.
I didn't say that.
I said people like him.
You're referring to me, innit?
I know because you're trying to stop me mid-flow. Can I
I
land my
didn't say
plane?
that, though. Go on.
You said that, cuz.
Is he not a top
For me, I don't see him as one of the world's best midfielders.
ever to do it in his generation?
You can't
For
put
me,
him on fraud
he's
watch,
had
though.
one good season at Real Madrid just before he came to United, and then I don't know what he was at United, but he's on fraud watch.
Man was burgling his house at United. Do you know anything about that?
Why you asking him like that, man? Man, like I was there. Was that your people?
I'm just saying, innit? When things happen in money, you gotta ask the money man the minute.
But yeah, for me, I think he needs to be on fraud watch.
Okay.
I mean, side note, I don't know why. Why did he get so angry yesterday?
Huh?
You just don't like Manchester?
Fam,
Alright, so why would you put him on fraud watch, though?
Because I think he's overrated.
He's had one good season.
Why do you rate him?
They said I didn't rate him. But
I'm saying, why do you? Or do you not rate him?
I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be on fraud watch.
Is there
No,
anyone
did we not explain it well enough? Basically, anyone who's being put on a pedestal where they don't deserve to be,
What, like overall or just what?
in general.
overall this season?
I think
for me,
it
I
was based on...
don't.
No, I
For
don't
me, I
agree
feel
with that.
like, for example, I put Mo Salah on there before. For me, people talking about his
I don't know, you just slapped him with a fish, man. Like, what?
Can I land my plane?
He's also put Gabriel Jesus on there.
Yeah, bunny.
Bro, are you mad? What? What's your fraud watch saying?
So who would you put on fraud watch then?
I won't put Di Maria, Salah, or...
I don't want to hear you. I want to know who you will
I'm
put on
trying to
there.
get your concept, though.
I said, no, I don't understand your thinking right
That's what
now.
I'm saying, I don't, man.
Baffling.
So... Alright, so...
Now, just say we can say who you think, and we can talk about
I'm just
if they fit the
I'm just
bill.
trying to think, like... So...
Ross Barkley, there's another one.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Alright, so... Explain it to me again, because it's
Being on fraud watch doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad player.
yeah. But
For
what, just for that
example-
season, or just overrated?
Overrated,
Someone
basically.
who's
Either or.
overrated?
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
You have one.
Yep.
Go on then.
I really can't think.
Simeone.
We
And
spoke about this in the
Simeone.
car the other day.
Simeone
I
and
can't back that one.
Atletico Madrid.
Because
And listen to me now. Hear me now.
I don't know why you're doing the dad voice, but
Hear me
listen
now.
to me.
Yeah. Last month, yeah. 4 weeks ago. Yeah. 31 days ago. Atletico Madrid were top of La Liga, 14 points clear.
Okay.
Today,
Is that 3 points, isn't it?
huh?
Is that 3 points?
4 points clear.
So they've dropped 10 points.
That is shambolic.
You know what?
They've let Barca and Real Madrid back into this title race when they don't deserve to be.
yeah, but you can't put a man
There
that's
are
top
fraud.
of the league when he's not meant to be top of the league on fraud watch.
Nah, you know why? My expectations for Real Madrid
But why
are
shouldn't
not
he be
for
top of the league?
Atletico.
Why shouldn't he be top?
Because they are not. They are not. At the start
Why
of the
not?
season,
Barcelona,
Bro, they
Barcelona
invested
aren't
some
like.
big-
at the start of the season, would you have put money? Atletico Madrid would have been.
Nah, but that's not what I'm putting them on fraud watch for. You've blew a 14-point
haven't blew
lead
because
in a
they're still
month.
top.
Nah, dog. I don't. 10 points.
To be fair,
gone.
and they're the most failed team in the Champions League final. as well.
100%, and they've
Glad to
spent
see that.
big money.
Are they not overachieving getting to that final?
Would you say João Felix is on fraud watch then?
Yeah.
Then
You know what
Atletico.
I'd say comes to my mind, right? Dybala.
That's
Yeah.
a fair shout.
Fair, that's he's been on the radar still.
So why can you say that and then I can't say who I say and then you have to look at me like a certain way?
Because I think yours is a bit mad.
Di Maria,
It was a bit
Di
mad.
Maria, Kamala, what's different?
It's not the all right.
It's a similar,
I
it's a
get
similar
that,
show.
But the Mo Salah and the Gabriel Jesus one, I think that's a bit nuts.
Why?
It's because
Well, you think
Oh,
Salah,
right.
Salah deserves the accolades that he's getting?
No, because they're talking about how he's after Messi and Ronaldo, he can't be next. They're talking about he's like the third best player in the world and all.
so that's a different ball game. Talking about people under Messi and Ronaldo, that's a different. Ball
That's what I'm
game.
saying. But I'm saying if you take them out of the game, is he one of the best in the world?
Would you,
might be-
are you
he
putting
would
Mo
be
Salah in your
the
top
best.
10 players?
Not for me.
Would I put Mo Salah in my top 10? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh,
Top 10.
Top 10 players.
I probably need to think about that.
When you think about it, he won't get close.
Right, so
We'll do it after though, because we don't want to waste all our time.
Yeah, on that, innit?
So yeah, Dybala.
Yeah, no, I'd say because you hear a lot about him, but to me he's not excelled. You know what I mean? Or the hype.
it's kind of just plateaued, isn't it?
He's not like excelled to all the hype that he's been getting and things like that.
So similar to João Felix.
And Mohammed.
yeah,
It's
Mohammed
one
is a
wonder
goal
still.
buster.
I can't go with that.
Apart from take away his first season, he ain't done nothing.
So he's got 20 goals this season.
Big man.
Fam, he's probably had a 20-game goal drought as well. What's your
Bro,
point?
you're sure he's close to like banging 100 goals for Liverpool,
He's banged 50 in the first season. So you should. You've been there, 4 years now?
bro. So you're telling me Mo Salah is not?
I'm not saying he's not a good player, as I've said.
So what you saying? He's overrated?
He's overrated.
Okay.
If he was doing the same thing that he was doing in the first season, every season, no argument. But every
Alright.
season he got worse.
All right, so then that comes to an argument saying, all right, Messi's not really done it on a
No, let's not go there.
No,
Let's
hear me out.
Let me talk.
Hear me out.
Let me talk
Hear me
real
out.
quick.
Hear
Let
me-
me
hear
talk.
Hear me out.
Let him land his plane, man. He's
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
narrow runway.
So listen.
Denzel's flying his plane, I told you.
No, listen. So hear me out, right? Hear me out. So Messi. To me, I'm a Messi guy, innit? Like
Messi over CR7.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay, fair
me,
enough.
innit? Like, I mess you over, like whatever. But he's not done it on an international stage properly. Yeah. Like listen. To be like
Considered.
considered, you know what I mean?
Hands
Don't get
down.
me wrong. In my opinion, I think he is hands down. But then it's the argument because he's not done it on an international stage.
Or at different clubs. In different leagues.
Yeah, true. But he's that guy. Like you can say that, but then have you seen his goal ratio against English clubs? Like he's bagged like 26 goals against.
He's still banging like 30.
or
Still
wha-
got a
or
30 goal
whatever it is.
involvement this season.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
that's my argument. No, you know what I mean? Like because,
How does that relate to Mo Salah?
no, because what I'm trying to say is because Messi's not done it on an international stage, does that make him like?
Fraud.
Does that make him?
But when
does
people
that
say
make
he
him
hasn't done it on
overrated?
an international, all they're saying is basically he hasn't won a trophy. Because if you actually look at his,
So you're saying, is Messi
I'm sure he's
overrated?
the all-time leading goal
Yeah, so
scorer by like
that's
20
what
goals.
I'm kind of say. Like, so you're telling me Messi's overrated?
Of course not.
But the argument is people are saying he's not done it on the international stage.
Yeah, because they're haters.
So that's just my argument to what you're saying. Though.
But it doesn't correlate.
It does.
It does, because
How?
you're basically saying that if you can't say Messi's overrated, then you can't say Mo Salah's overrated.
How? Because that's not the same situation.
It
It's
is because
completely
they both
different.
do it because you're saying he hasn't done it consistently this season, blah blah. But if you look at his actual
But
numbers,
this is what I'm saying. This is why I always say bond the stats. Because
Can't
people
bond
are
the stats,
talking
the
talking
stats
about
are needed.
stats. Why? They're not needed.
of course they
If
are.
you watch the game, you can see Messi is far better than Mo Salah.
No one's doubting
no
that, but
one's
you can't
doubting
then
that.
turn around and say
So-
Mo Salah is should be on fraud watch on the basis that he's overrated because his numbers don't
That's
say
like,
that.
That's like saying Messi should be on for our watch because every World Cup he's been to, he's not
He's
not done
failed.
That's what I mean.
You act like a World Cups every season.
No, but the World Cups, the World Cups.
Copa America is.
It's because he's got a fraud Di Maria next to him. That's
No,
why. How
but
about that?
what I'm saying, he's gone into.
If we had proper man around him, hear me.
I got Di Maria
I get me. You got 2 fraud man next to him. What you want him to do, fam? He's the all-time leading goal scorer for Argentina.
But
It's like my back.
he's not.
So what?
But he's not won a trophy though.
Because of the frauds next to him.
Alright, so you blaming him for the players that are around him. No, I'm just saying. No,
I'm saying Argentina's failure is not Messi's failure. Like he isn't the
What?
reason.
He's
that-
part of it.
He isn't the reason that they haven't won a trophy in his career.
But look at
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
yeah,
But you take CR7, who's dragged Portugal to a
I
European
agree.
Championship.
I agree.
And the national.
That
Look at
adds
the
to-
players
that
that was around him.
But the
They're
difference
even
is-
worse.
But that adds to his legacy. But it shouldn't take away from Messi's. That's what I'm saying.
But it kind of does though.
It does, but it shouldn't.
It should. But if your man got to the
Like, basically-
he got to a World Cup final, fam. I'm telling you, he should have got Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
The big
honestly,
moment he had the free kick against
it's like-
Germany.
it's like-
Skied it.
Yeah.
Gerrard for Liverpool. He carried him to that Champions League. He couldn't do it to the league. It's the same thing. But you can't say he's not a Liverpool great because he didn't win
But
the
you
league. with
argue
them.
that
Because he
Messi
slipped.
doing
It's
it-
his fault.
Yeah, but Messi doing
Now
that,
what?
Messi doing it at Barca is hard. I would say harder than doing it at international level, no? Because he's done it more consistently for that period of
He's
time.
done it every
What do you mean?
season.
Because he's done it for such a long period of time at
Yeah,
club
but
level. I'm
at
saying
club
at
and international
level, it
is
should be
completely different. Like
I'm not saying
club
it's
is
not
a
different, I'm
day
just
to day.
talking-
That's your day to day job. When you go to
Yeah,
international,
but you just gave the Gerrard an analogy where it was a Champions League and he dragged them, so it's a short tournament, but he couldn't do it in the league.
You only play what?
No, I'm
10
saying-
games.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
saying,
just
I'm saying, Gerrard
I
at
see
Liverpool.
Fab's point in regards to him
No,
not
but listen,
performing when it comes to the
Liverpool
crunch
and
time.
Gerrard, they haven't won a league for however many years until last season. Yeah, Gerrard had the opportunity, he slipped. Everyone blamed Gerrard, but you can't say that he's a failure for Liverpool. But man are saying Messi's a failure for Argentina. So how is that? How is that fair?
No, not
But a
necessarily.
lot of people will
No,
say
no.
Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Beckham. That team's a failure for England.
Nah, the manager failed them.
Wait, how can the
How you got that level of talent and you not do anything? Because it wasn't just the midfield.
Yeah,
You had Rio Ferdinand, you had John Terry, Sol Campbell,
Joe
all the rest of
Cole,
them, Ledley
all the
King,
man.
all of them, Ashley Cole.
David Seaman.
You've got a complete team. You got firepower up front. But what? You can't get past group stages and that. You just get slapped.
It's a mazza
That's not the
stuff.
player's fault. That's the manager.
Nah, players have to take some responsibility.
I hear it. Right.
Nah,
Well,
nah,
let's move on to the streets. We'll never forget. So now it's a new segment we brought in last week.
Okay.
So players, I think who we mentioned last week was JJ Okocha, like quality, like basically the best player for the little man teams. That you've like,
I doubt Tarat.
yeah, Tarat.
You know what? I was literally about to say him.
Yeah.
Mad.
I thought of someone today. I don't know if you all agree. Wayne Routledge for Fulham. He was smoky, man. Or even Swansea. He was on stuff.
It was mad for Swansea.
Stretch.
It was good, but I'm not sure I can bump him up to the category yet.
Fam, the streets will never forget Donny.
You know who I got? Ravel Morrison at West Ham
Okay.
with the Sam M joints.
Actually, you must have been there at the United times with them. So
Sam-
let's
Sam-
go back. Let's
Sam and Jones.
let's put.
Rav's raw talent, bro. Like it's mad that seeing him come through. Obviously, I would have been a bit older than him, but like seeing the things that he used to do in training was nuts. Like there was a time, right? He was on the right wing, I think, and the fullbacks like knocked the ball to him, and he's like spun the ball. The ball's spinning, so then the fullbacks run thinking he can get the ball, and the ball's spun. And Rav's gone that way, and the ball's gone that way, and he's gone round the defender to get it. When I saw that, I just thought, nah, this. And it was about 40 minutes did this, and I just thought, nah, this kid's
Different gravy.
different, man. Different.
Fairs. Have you got anyone? Streets will
Well, you
never
mentioned one earlier, the Santos.
forget? Oh yeah,
He can get in there.
Who's that?
the Santos.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streets.
I'm gonna put the first centre back in there, Ledley King. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves, so I'm gonna put him in there.
Fair juice.
With his one knee.
Respect his knee, man. Respect his good knee.
I'd say Tarabat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarabat.
He's number one on the
Yeah.
list. He
Yeah.
has to be.
Yeah.
Mad. Things that he used to do in the champ. Yeah, nuts.
Well, joke, innit?
Crazy.
Oh, one just come to mind still.
Who?
The Nelson. Mr. 17 step overs
Yeah,
and
the Brazilian
zoom.
one, yeah.
Gone.
Oh yeah. Donny's
Real
different.
Betis days. Him and
Yeah.
Joaquin and the other wing.
Well, to be fair, I was thinking about Prem, but now that you mentioned internet, now the whole world's open.
Yeah, man, you have to open the world,
They say
man.
coronavirus gone.
Adriano,
Yeah.
Inter Milan, left foot, Pro 6,
Pro 6, innit?
teeth.
99 power.
Yeah, teeth. All right, cool. So lastly, to wrap up the show, Fabs, we're gonna get you to pick your Premier League all-time 11
Mad.
formation and the manager.
It's your team, you can't not be good.
What, Prem, like, what we doing?
Yeah, just in the Prem
From 92.
from 92 till now.
No transfers, no.
We had this far in a conversation earlier, man.
Right.
We'll even
So
have to
manager-
give you a left back, Ashley Cole.
Manager, gotta be Sir Alex.
Yeah, formation.
I'm a 4-3-3 guy, me.
Okay, cool. Is that with the one sitting?
Yeah,
Or flat 3, yeah. Okay.
Well,
1
no,
City.
I don't know.
Work my way to that.
You're the most indecisive manager ever.
Manager, innit?
Who's the goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper, Schmeichel.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Schmeichel. Left back, Ashley Cole. Centre backs, I'm gonna go Rio. I like the Rio Vidic.
Big man, it's your team, bro.
bro.
Who you want,
I
fam?
like the Rio Vidic. I like the Rio Vidic.
Yeah.
Right back.
Who have we had? We've had
had Lauren.
Ivanovic.
Kyle Walker.
Gary Neville.
Gary Neville.
Micah Richards.
Right back's hard to be
Zabaleta.
fair.
Yes, I might go for those. I might go for Gaznevy. Just because.
You just want to put the United starting 11 out
Yeah,
there.
just put us a nice side. You know what? Just because, right? He's I don't know. He's just
Steady Eddie.
He's just steady.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. You know what you're getting with him.
Yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Gary Neville reminds me of Kev Nicholson.
Shout out, Kev.
Holding. The coin's tossed there between Keno and Vieira, you know.
Jeez.
Well, there's 3 people there. I'll show both of them in.
No.
When Reed said Vieira was unplayable, could do anything in midfield.
You know,
This is Fab's team.
I'm gonna dash them both in. To be fair, I'm gonna dash them.
So who's the third?
They changed their mind now.
The third,
Has to be Scholes, the way you're sounding.
it's gotta be. But then
Do you want to put a Jezza in? Steven Gerrard.
Nicely.
but I'm happy with that triangle. I'm happy with that triangle.
So Keane, Vieira, and Scholesy.
Yeah.
Okay. Right wing.
Right wing. I'm gonna put Ronaldo.
Okay.
Right wing.
Left wing.
Left wing. Gonna put Henry.
Man, naturally, that's for Henry left.
Henry on the left, man. I'm telling you.
Henry on the left.
When I said it, man laughed at me like I was mad. Now everybody's doing Henry on the left. Yeah, it's not cheating, bro.
Henry on the left and striker.
We've had Shearer,
We had Shearer.
Drogba, Rooney. Who else?
Cole.
Andy Cole. Did anyone say Nistelrooy?
Mr. Rice. Mad finisher.
Who did you have up front? Drogba.
I had
I
Drogba.
remember, I had Thierry.
I might let's go for Rooney.
Yeah. Fair play.
Gonna go for Rooney.
So, Schmeichel in goal, Ashley Cole left back, Rio and Vidic in the middle, Gary Neville. In the trio in the middle, you got Vieira, Keane, and Scholes. Out right, Cristiano. Out left, Henry. Down the middle, Wayne Rooney.
Basically, United plus Vieira.
And then, man.
Ashley Cole.
It's a team sport.
Is it Arsenal Ashley Cole or Chelsea Ashley Cole?
Arsenal Ashley Cole, you know.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Arsenal Ashley Cole.
Fair play. I forgot to do the polls, so we'll do them now quickly. So last week, I asked the question: is Arsenal Fan TV bad for Arsenal Football Club?
No. I voted no.
I wouldn't say it was.
Yeah, 55% of the voters voted no, so it's kind of close, to be fair. Next question was: is Ashley Cole the best left back ever? Ever?
Yes. That's what I voted anyway.
I'd say
Name one better.
There's arguments for Marcelo.
Marcelo Roberto Carlos.
I think I'll put Marcelo over Roberto Carlos, and I'd put Ashley Cole over Carlos as well. I think Carlos was just in a bad boy
Ashley
team.
Cole is, if he was Brazilian, it wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah.
It's only because he's English.
I'd say Marcelo, to be fair. Marcelo's got more flair.
Exactly, because he's Brazilian. I'm telling you, if Ashley Cole's Brazilian, hands down, best ever.
Probably. All right. We also had the. Oh, didn't it for the Ashley Cole? Sorry, my bad. 58% of the voters voted no.
He's not.
He's not the best left back ever.
Brazilian, though. Watch.
So it's probably because he's English. But I'm thinking
maybe
everyone's
it's just
going with
not-
Marcelo.
Yeah.
Couldn't be like a Jordi Alba or anybody
That's
like
the
that.
question. Next
You know what it was? Is when Marcelo got it off the throw in, touched it, and then volleyed it out
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
side.
Yeah, that was.
Plus, he's won like
Every
Champions League
Yeah,
back to back
it's
in
mad.
it, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
mad. Cool. The next one was: should Arjen Robben be in the Premier League Hall of Fame?
Oh,
PSC.
Jesus.
I said he should be a nominee. See how you word it every time. I said he should be a nominee at least.
Hey, big man, you need to watch the
I'll-
episode,
I'll
man. You
take
said
it.
nobody. You said he should be in there. You think
I'd say he's a nominee. You know.
nominee?
Get me, yes, dude.
Wasn't a nominee. The question was
The question was that it was a man should be in the Hall of Fame, fam.
You never said nominee. You said should be in the Hall of Fame.
Nah, well, obviously, there's only like
And
three
then,
man in there. I'm talking
and then
about
man were
everyone.
asking about Damien Duff.
No.
Remember?
I didn't bring up Damien. Though. You man brought up
You
Damien.
didn't bring up Damien, but you did. You definitely said Robin should be in there.
Duff was a good player though.
Yeah.
78% of the voters voted no. Sonny should not be. He didn't do enough for some of the DMs I was getting at Chelsea. So it is what it is. This one I'm a bit torn in between. Should Real Madrid's Galactico team, so R9, Zidane, Figo, Raul, UTH, Bex, Carlos, or them man, Casillas, should that Galactico team be on fraud watch?
I think I voted yes.
Because they
They should
didn't
have won more.
win.
Because they should have won more.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, yeah.
They've won one La Liga, no Champions League. I think even
I-
Raul
I-
came out and said,
I said yeah,
Yeah.
Underachieving
I'd
team.
say
Yeah.
underachieving.
but that kind of
The same as the England team.
that would
Golden
be a great.
generation.
I'll put that as the poll.
Yeah,
this
man,
week.
bond them.
59% of the voters voted no.
Wow.
They should
shouldn't
not be on fraud watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm
nostalgia
saying.
are killing
That's what it
people,
is.
bro.
That's what it is.
It's
wild.
nostalgia.
It's wild. It's wild.
Because look
It's
at
wild.
look at what they actually look at. Even do the eyeball test. They feel that.
yeah. It's mad. I think this was the last one. So the last one we had is Phil Foden world class.
Without doubt.
He's on his way.
Nah.
You don't think he's there yet?
No.
I think he's the potential. Obviously, everyone knows the potential's there. I think the last 3-4 months or whatever it is, he's shown that he's like
It's close.
he's very, very, very close.
In the PSG game, he's
To be fair, I didn't watch that.
uh,
I didn't watch
he's
that.
ready.
But I think if I would have watched that game, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Because I've heard everyone's raving about him after that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just a sick player.
58% of the voters voted yes, he's world class.
Good.
I think the people that voted no have world class as their top tier bracket. So maybe we just need to get a tier system going.
I told you my tier system.
The no
already.
Where
tier
it's-
system.
Yeah, the No Tekkers tier system is the top tier is aliens. So there's only 2 man there at the minute.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Neymar should be there.
Yeah.
As an alien.
as an alien.
Nah, should be, man. I'm talking about if he
That's a
actually
poll.
if he took football serious, brother, and then go chase the cash, bro.
You can't try to remix the question now.
I'm not remixing the question.
You said what you said.
I'm making my statement. I'm clarifying what I
Nah, it's
meant
too
by
late for
my
that, man. We
statement.
take your first answer on this show.
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet.
No, he's not there. Of course not. But I'm saying he should be.
Them man have got like stupid amount of goals.
Yeah, but
Them
I'm saying if
performing
Neymar took it
stupid
seriously and then
amount
go
of
chase
games.
PSGPs, bro, you'd have been doing better.
I think if he stayed at Barca, maybe
There you go.
might have something there, but at the minute now. So yeah, you have the next under the aliens. You got Elite, which Neymar,
KDBs and
KDBs, and them man, Pogba.
Lewandowski.
Yeah,
You put Salah in there.
I wouldn't know.
and then you have world class,
He's in that one.
Yeah, you can go in that one.
Alright, cool.
and then I think KP's got what top class under
Yeah, you
that.
got like top class. in them.
Top class in them, man.
Yeah.
Who's top class? Give me a top class player.
Zinchenko.
Henderson.
Henderson. Okay.
Where would you put Lukaku?
See that, bro. Man, have to put respect on Lukaku's name, bro.
Yeah,
I rate
you
him.
have to.
Nah,
I
bro.
don't think he's elite, but he's world class.
I would never put him nowhere near Elite.
So you say he's top class.
No,
Not even
we'll
in front row.
We'll say that. We'll say that for next-
Elite, fam. Nah, in a bit.
Nah, we'll say that for next show.
Yeah, it's world class. Therefore, I put him in world class.
Man just dragged into a title. Man can't even get no credibility. Right?
Brother, Ashley Cole dragged into to a title.
I-
No,
Ashley
Ashley Cole,
Cole-
Ashley Young. Sorry.
Ashley who?
Violin.
He came back.
Yeah, right. Man revitalized his hairline and everything.
look like Mayweather.
Right, Fabs, we appreciate you coming on.
I enjoyed that.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it, man.
Dropped a couple gems.
Couple of gems.
Man's trying to hear the.
I felt like I lived in Manchester. I was fascinated.
Tell the people where they can find you on the social media.
You can find me on Twitter, just under Febian Brandy. Bit quiet on the Instagram.
Quickly before we go though, tell the people them about Scouted.
Scouted, yeah. So
man.
Scouted is an app, Scouted with a K. It's an app where, you know, football players of all levels and ages can self-upload video footage of themselves in order to get scouted by professional football teams.
Okay.
We've got professional, like Premier League teams, using it. Teams in La Liga have used it. We're currently live in 82 countries. And we've got, you know, thousands of users on it. So
yeah. That's sick, man.
The next big thing.
Yeah, we need
So
to
that's
talk.
Scouted with a K.
Scouted with a K.
Yeah.
We need to talk.
I was gonna say that, but I don't want to say it.
No, I want to say it right now.
I got that.
Right, episode 36. That's a wrap. Peace.
I appreciate that.